Before I leave this earth, I will laugh at you. Welcome, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by once again, coming your way with another retro VHS showcasing video. Came across this at Half Price Books, and although it was priced a little higher than I would have liked, I pondered it. I actually might have seen it, weeks earlier before in the past, and came across it again, and I'm just like, you know what? God dang it! It's a little expensive, but I can continue my whatever pathetic hobby of buying and keeping factory sealed, decades old factory sealed VHS cassette releases, and I can, it can be a video. So I'm like, you know what, you guys are worth it. So I plunked down a little more than it was under $10, but a little higher than I guess I would have liked to have paid for this. But it's not every day. Of course, this is how you rationalize as a factory sealed VHS and enthusiast psychotic. This is how you rationalize slapping down hard-earned, or in some cases not so hard-earned cash, or not cash, but credit card. Well, I don't even slap the credit card down. I keep it in the wallet and just have it put the chip thing over the thing. Anyway, that's how you I guess how us psychotic factory sealed VHS cassette enthusiasts rationalize spending money on these things. So, but at any rate, I got it, and like I say, I think it was there before, and it was like too much, and then today I guess it wasn't too much because the money's been devalued even more, so the same price looked like it was less expensive. If you haven't guessed, I'm stopping on by today to showcase one of the original North American VHS releases that happens to be factory sealed of Amadeus. Dun 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 dun. Tishon T. As we can see on the back here, the only year on the whole packaging is in lovely Roman numerals, which I deciphered with the help of the worldwide internet, and I think this is 1984. It'd be probably the release year of the film in theaters. Unfortunately, this is the only copyright year on the whole packaging, so I'm not exactly sure when this VHS came out. I can only assume the VHS would have come out in 1985, but that's just a guess. So either the VHS was released in 1984, I would imagine, or 1985. For the record, this very well might be the movie that introduced me to the beautiful, wonderful world of the thing known as human female breasts. I was probably not even a double digits kid when I saw this, possibly 8 or 9 years old when I would have first seen this, and I don't think I'd really ever necessarily. I'd seen like Wonder Woman, the TV show, in the 80s with Linda Carter, whatever the hell her name is, but I'm not necessarily sure I ever necessarily focused on bosoms until I saw this movie, of course, and thanks to the production of this movie, Elizabeth Berridge, of course, and well, there's more bosoms in this movie, but those bosoms are probably the bosoms we see the most often. But just for the record, this very well might have been the movie that introduced me to bosoms, and as a kid, possibly not even double digit at the time, maybe 8 or 9, possibly 10. I don't know when the hell I first would have seen this, but I mentioned this before in videos on this channel, that I remember being at some grade school class or something, and I drew a picture, I don't know where it is now, hopefully it's somewhere, of Mozart, his wife, and his father. His father was in his kind of flowing gown. It was kind of like the outfits they wore at that party they went to when the dad's got that black gown, frickin' cloak thing, and the happy face, sad face, on each side of the head thing, and Stanzi's looking all frickin' hot with the bosoms pushed up. So I drew a picture of Mozart, his wife, and dad, and the wife, at the age of, 9 years old I may have been or something, I drew the big old cleavage, and the female teacher was kind of like, oh, whatever, how dare you, and made me erase the cleavage, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, what what a prude. I didn't know the verbiage at the time, but that's just a little bit of history with my experience with bosoms and this movie. Taking a closer look at the front cover, as we can see top corner, HBO video. We can also see Movie of the Year. It's got a exclamation point and it's also underlined to doubly emphasize it. Winner of 8 Academy Awards. And we've got the, which I think is the original theatrical poster artwork, the artwork which has represented this movie for decades, the classic shot of whatever the hell it is, that character, and then that woman can be seen on that one opera scene from the movie singing. I don't know why she's so small in that thing right in the center of the top of his head thing, but that's her there in case you didn't know. But very, very classic artwork for the film represented here. And incidentally, I don't know if it'll translate to the video, but the quality of the printing of this box leaves a little bit to be desired. I don't know if it'll, like I say, translate onto the video, but the printing of the printing on the box is kind of low quality, and you might think the pictures I'm showing you are out of focus. And I actually had to, when I was taking pictures and I was looking, making sure they were in focus, I actually had to. Then I looked at the box. I'm like, oh, the box isn't even in focus. So there you go. But as we pan further down, we might be able to discern here the all-important watermark, which has sealed VHS fanatics pretty much buy these for, more or less, just to get that frickin' decades old, in this case probably 40 years old VHS cassette shrink wrapping watermark. In this case, it's trying to replicate HBO video. You can make out the video more than you can make out the HBO, but can probably discern that watermark kind of in the center of the front cover there. Amadeus and all the like abbreviated credits there. And we've got your all-important Best Picture 1984 thing here, and you got some cast right there. And oh, look at that! I don't know if you can see it on the photo, but I can barely see it too, because the quality or lack thereof of the printing of this package, recorded in digital audio. And then I think it says hi-fi stereo, so I'm not exactly sure what that means. I guess the movie was supposed to, maybe that's just information that's incorrect. I know even the soundtrack CD I don't think was recorded digitally, so I'm not exactly sure why they call this digital stereo. But at any rate, even if the original source was digital stereo, you're not getting digital audio on a VHS cassette. You can get, as it says, as it's indicated here, hi-fi stereo. Bottom of the front cover is this just goofy ass logo and 4 times repeat. Incidentally, back when I was probably puberty, like 13 years old, I was plagued with obsessive compulsive disorder, something I refer to these days as obsessive compulsive persuasion, because I don't necessarily think it's a disorder, but 4 was my number that I was compelled to repeat and do things at. So it's interesting that there's 4 W's on the bottom here representing, I don't know how to even pronounce this, Weintraub Entertainment Group can be seen at the bottom of the front cover of this VHS cassette. Taking a look at the factory sealed right spine. The wrapping might kind of get in the way of seeing some details, but on the top we can see a horribly printed VHS. Like I say, the print quality of every side, front, back, sides, top of this packaging is more or less kind of subpar garbage. It almost looks like printed from a home computer or something. These days, back then you couldn't have a quality of this high in a home printed out thing, but these days you probably could. VHS can be seen at the top of the spine, catalog number 2997. Amadeus adorns the majority of the spine, and bottom of it here is HBO video logo, and you've got a single W on the bottom of the spine instead of 4. Yeah, good luck trying to fit 4 there. Taking a look at the left spine, this is kind of what I mean, the sloppiness of the printing of this packaging. I'll get into it a little later. First VHS top there, catalog number once again, but you can see it's not the way I took the pictures, it's the way it's printed. Like this is printed, the way it all comes together when they actually, glue up this box or whatever. This Amadeus is not really centered, and the HBO video is not really centered. It's kind of off to the, if you look at, well, okay, you're looking at it with the thing on the bottom, so it's kind of, but if you look at it like with the VHS cassette upright or whatever, the Amadeus, everything is off to the left a little bit. So Amadeus is almost, the bottom of it's almost cut off, and the HBO video thing is also not centered on the spine. Looks to be the same case with the W too. Everything's, if you're looking at the cassette as if it were standing on its bottom, everything's off to the left a little bit, more testament to the kind of, I don't know what, shoddy printing of this particular VHS cassette sleeve. Taking a look at the top as best we can see it through the decades old, freaking 40 years old factory wrapping we've got here. You can see a W, which is really goofy here. Before I didn't even notice this until now, before the title of the movie, they have to put a freaking W there for the Weintraub Entertainment Group logo. It kind of looks like Amadeus instead of Amadeus, like Amadeus. I thought this movie was Amadeus. It's like, it's not Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, it's Amadeus, but the W makes it look like Amadeus. Oh my God. Taking a look at the back, this isn't blurry pictures I took of it. The actual printing of this information is blurry, like the warning thing is not, you'd think it would be my eyes at my age, but it's not even my eyes. It's the printing, in this case, of the just kind of subpar printing quality of this. You got warning, copyright information top corner. We've got an ISBN number, which isn't something we see very often on VHS showcasings. Other top corner barcode there. Hope it works with the shoddy printing of this packaging. Amadeus, which is formerly known as Amadeus, which is now Amadeus once again. Abbreviated credits, and it's interesting that must have been something that HBO Video did, or in this case, I should say didn't do, which is they don't even have one picture, one still image on the back here, and it kind of really makes you wonder when a home video distribution company chooses not to have any images on the back. It's either lazy or they're like snobby, like, oh, our movie is too good for us to even show anything on the back. They'll just have to take our word for it, in the fact that it's a winner of 8 Academy Awards and underlined movie of the year exclamation point. Like they don't deserve an image. We'll just not give them an image. They have to either buy this or rent this to see the imagery. So it always makes me wonder when you look on the back of a VHS cover and there's not one image. So it might be the stuck-upness or snootiness of this particular release, or something that HBO Video just was common for them to do, or like I say, not do. Winner of 8 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Amadeus is the long-awaited film version of Peter Shaffer's London and Broadway stage hit centered around Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's life and music. Directed by Milos Forman and produced by Saul, whatever the hell his last name is, the team that swept the 1976 Academy Awards with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Amadeus was adapted for the screen by its author, Peter Shaffer. In the leading roles, F. Murray Abraham is the jealousy-ridden 18th century composer. Tom Hulse plays Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, the hapless victim of his venom. The incredible music of Mozart is heard throughout the film. This extravagant production, recorded in digital audio, is one that reaches out to everyone. A film classic already. Amadeus will win the hearts of all its awe-inspired viewers. They could have said, Elizabeth Berridge plays Mozart's nubile, busty bride. Maybe would have got a few more sales and or rentals of the cassette if they would have said that. As we can see here, oh, maybe this is why the packaging quality of the printing sucks. It says printed in USA. But to be fair, there's a lot of stuff we read that's printed in the USA that doesn't look like this. Like I say, you might not even be able to see the lack of quality in the printing on the pictures I provide in the video, but it's a little blurrier than normal for a VHS package. As we can see, running time 158 minutes, color, and this Roman numerals deciphers into 1984, copyright 1984, the Saul, whatever the hell his last name is, company, all rights reserved. This is so disingenuous. And digital audio, hi-fi stereo, Academy Award is a registered trademark of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. It's really weird that the word science is in that, but I guess there is a science to photography and the technical aspects of making movies. I guess we can see the rating PG, VHS, catalog number, HBO video logo, and on the bottom once again OCD or OCP, 4 versions of the Weintraub Entertainment Group W there, www.weintraub.com. Just kidding. We don't usually do this, but in this case there's cause to do so. Taking a look at the bottom of the VHS cassette, factory sealed in this case, we can see this anti-theft device here, which is basically this thing that's like affixed to the bottom of the shrink wrap here. And I when I saw this, I'm like, wow, that brings back memories, because back in the mid-90s, as a teenager, I worked at Suncoast Motion Picture Company, and this was the same anti-theft security stuff we had on our VHSs and Laserdiscs and products as well. But yeah, the way you deactivated this is you took your little deactivation gun, which I was probably plugged into power because it had a coil cord on it, and you'd place the two little metal, I guess, whatever, little metal things in these 2 metal holes, and it would, I think it'd go beep, and it would deactivate the anti-theft label here, so they could, a paying customer could walk out of the store alarm free. But so it's possible that this cassette was sold at Suncoast Motion Picture Company or Sam Goody, or I guess other retailers could have used the same thing as well. But when I saw this on the bottom, it sure brought back memories. I sure deactivated quite a number of these back in my day, I'll tell you. As we can see, yet another title to add to the ever-growing pile of factory-sealed VHSs. Normally in VHS showcasings, this is where I show the cassette itself, but obviously being of the factory-sealed variety, that's not going to happen in this video, unfortunately. If you want to know what I think about the movie itself, there is a movie review of Amadeus on this channel as well. Guess that pretty much does it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, we'll catch you on the next video.